Welcome to the AI Executive Brief. I'm Stephen Forte. On today's episode, a document the CIA published in 1944 that explains why your AI investments are failing, why 29% of your employees are actively sabotaging your strategy, and the one move that triples your chances of fixing it. We have spent the last several episodes talking about the ROI gap, why companies are pouring money into AI and getting almost nothing back. Today, I am going to tell you where that money is actually going. It is not disappearing into bad algorithms or broken software. It is being killed quietly and deliberately by people on your payroll. The failure is not technological, it is human, and it is deliberate. Let me start with a document. In January 1944, the Office of Strategic Services, the predecessor to the CIA, published a classified field manual. Strategic Services Field Manual number 3, authored under the direction of OSS Director William Wild Bill Donovan. Its purpose was to train ordinary citizens in occupied countries to sabotage enemy organizations from within, not with explosives, with bureaucracy. Here are some of the actual instructions. Insist on doing everything through channels. Never permit shortcuts to be taken in order to expedite decisions. Another, when possible, refer all matters to committees for further study and consideration. Attempt to make the committees as large as possible, never less than 5. And my favorite, do your work poorly and blame it on bad tools, machinery, or equipment. The manual was declassified by the CIA in 2008. You can read it on CIA.gov right now. And here is the part that should unsettle you. The genius of these tactics was not their complexity. It was their invisibility. Physical sabotage, a blown bridge, a derailed train, could be discovered and repaired. But bureaucratic sabotage looked exactly like business as usual. Now, let me tell you something. These tactics are not historical curiosities. They are happening right now in your company, in your AI initiatives. And the people doing it are smiling at you in every steering committee. The data is extraordinary. In April 2026, enterprise AI firm writer and research agency Workplace Intelligence published their annual survey. 2,400 workers across 6 countries, split evenly between C-suite executives and employees. The headline finding, 29% of employees admitted to sabotaging their company's AI strategy. Not resisting, not being skeptical, sabotaging. Among Gen Z workers, that number was 44%. But here is the number that should keep you up tonight. 76% of executives said employee sabotage poses a serious threat to their company's future. And yet, 75% of those same executives admitted their company's AI strategy is, in their own words, more for show than actual guidance. So leadership knows the sabotage is happening. And leadership also knows its strategy is not real. That is not a workforce problem. That is an organizational failure wearing a technology costume. Now, let me connect this to the broader failure landscape. We are spending $1.5 trillion on AI globally in 2025, projected to hit $2.5 trillion in 2026. And what are we getting for it? MIT's NANDA initiative found that 95% of enterprise AI pilots deliver zero measurable ROI. Not low ROI, zero. BCG found that only 5% of companies generate substantial value from AI at scale. Rand Corporation found that more than 80% of AI projects fail to reach meaningful production. And S&P Global reported that 42% of companies had abandoned most of their AI initiatives by mid-2025. BCG's research puts the formula at 10% algorithms, 20% technology, and 70% people and processes. The technology works, the people are the variable, and some of those people are working against you on purpose. So why are they doing it? This is where it gets uncomfortable, because the answer is rational. 89% of workers are concerned about AI's impact on their job security. Companies attributed 55,000 job cuts directly to AI in 2025, a 12-fold increase from 2023. Meanwhile, 66% of enterprises are reducing entry-level hiring due to AI, and 60% of companies plan to lay off employees who will not adopt it. If you are an employee watching 55,000 people lose their jobs to AI, and your company just told you to start using the tool that might replace you and nobody asked for your input and there is no retraining plan, sabotage is not irrational, it is a survival strategy. Let me walk you through how it actually works, because it is more sophisticated than you think. I will call this the spectrum of resistance. At one end, you have overt refusal, roughly 10% of employees. They deliberately enter inaccurate data, tamper with metrics, and produce intentionally low-quality AI output to make the technology look incompetent. In the middle, the cherry pickers, selectively surfacing bad AI outputs while ignoring good ones. And at the far end, the most dangerous, the pretenders. They comply at a superficial level, pretending to use systems without actually incorporating them into their work, as the Writer report documented. These people are invisible. They check every box, attend every training, and change absolutely nothing. But the real weapon is what Aalto University researchers identified as the vicious cycle. Employees with low trust restrict or manipulate their data inputs. The AI trained on bad data becomes increasingly inaccurate. Other users see the inaccuracy and lose faith. They withdraw further. The AI degrades more. A few saboteurs can poison an entire AI initiative. And when the project dies, it looks like the technology failed. It did not. It was murdered. I want to add something from my own experience. I deploy organizational change for mid to large companies. I have lost count of the failed AI projects I have unearthed where the technology was sound, the architecture was right, the data was clean, but the people executing the initiative were not executing it. They were performing execution. There is a difference. So what do you actually do about this? Stop looking for saboteurs. Start looking for champions. Right now, inside your organization, there are people already using ChatGPT, Claude, or other AI tools on their personal accounts, on their own time, with their own money. The Writer survey found that 35% of employees are personally funding AI tools for work because their employer does not offer suitable options. These people are not waiting for permission. They are solving real problems with AI right now. And here is the key insight. The programming language of this era is English. The real skill is not prompt engineering. It is domain expertise, knowing what to ask, because you understand the work. The person in accounts receivable who figured out how to cut invoice processing time in half using a chatbot they pay for themselves, that person is worth more to your AI strategy than any consultant. BCG's research backs this up. Organizations with active champion networks achieve implementation success rates 3 times higher than those relying solely on top-down mandates. When leaders demonstrate strong support for AI, the share of employees who feel positive about it rises from 15% to 55%. Find those people, reward them, promote them, make them the heroes of the story. Give them a title, AI champion, AI advocate, whatever fits your culture. Let them teach their peers. And here's what happens when you do. The saboteurs do not stay forever. When domain experts start visibly outperforming their peers with AI, a natural pressure builds. The resistors, they leave. Not because you fired them, because their colleagues are now operating at a level they cannot match without engaging with the tools they have been sabotaging. ADP research found that workers who feel their employers are investing in their skills were 5.3 times as likely to feel their jobs were secure. The choice is binary. Invest in your people or watch your $1.5 trillion join the 95% that returns nothing. But I want to leave you with this because it is the part most leaders miss. The deepest sabotage is not happening on the front lines. It is happening in your leadership team. 75% of executives admit their AI strategy is more for show than guidance. 89% of executives claim their organization has a generative AI strategy, but only 57% of employees are even aware one exists. When your strategy is performative and your communication is non-existent, you have not been sabotaged. You have created the conditions for sabotage. You have built the committee, insisted on the channels, and demanded the perfect policy, exactly as the manual prescribed. So before you go looking for the saboteur in your organization, check the mirror. That is the AI Executive Brief for Friday, April 17th, 2026. I am Stephen Forte. If this was useful, share it with someone who needs to hear it. I will be back Monday with more. Until then, stay sharp.